Hey y'all, it's Umi Genevieve, Place in Space Constellations on LSD. Thanks for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else. Sad to be here with me, so always want to show gratitude, always want to show appreciation, always want to let you guys know that I'm so grateful that you're rocking out here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now today I want to talk about Venus in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces, and it moved into Pisces February 10th, and it'll be there till March 6th. Now, when you have a Venus in Pisces, it is a placement that makes you an enormous giver. You give emotionally, you give financially, you give energetically. So you always got to be conscious of that you don't put yourself in like a rut because of this. And I also want to extend that to the Venus and waters, the other Venus and water signs. So Venus in Scorpio and also Venus in Cancer. Now, this is a placement where I always want to express to women that if you are not comfortable with being in the provider role, these are placements that could put you in a provider role, especially if you're in intimate relationships with someone. That's why I'd rather these placements be in men. And I might sound a little biased for this, but it makes for a great provider or a great trick. When a man has Venus in water and when he has Venus in fixed. Because both of these placements, both of these aspects are very, very, very generous. And when they are in women, it could make them generous, put them in a provider role. And if you're okay with that, then that's cool, especially if you're in your romantic relationship, especially if you feel like it's equally yoked and what that person's going to give and what you're giving. But if you're still caught up in societal norms and still caught up in gender, like this gender does that and this gender does this, and relationships, if 50-50 is not the thing for you, or you're comparing yourself to all these type of situations, you might really suffer with having a Venus in fix or a Venus in water or water degrees. So this is why it could just be a little tricky. Like if you have Venus in Cancer. So if you have Venus in Cancer, you are very giving and generous to your comfort zones, to your family, to your close loved ones. You'll even house these people. If you have Venus in Scorpio or degrees, you are very generous to your intimate relationships, your lover. And same thing with just all the water signs, to your close ones, your family, things of sort. The only thing with Venus being in Scorpio, and also since it's part of the fixed, it can really need that sense of loyalty. So you really got to be mine. And once I know that you're mine and you belong to me, I'll give you whatever you want. So Venus in Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo and Scorpio can have those types of themes going on. And they're also very extravagant givers. So if you know anyone that has a Venus in fix, or if you have a Venus in fix, these could literally be people who will pull up with a brand new car in the driveway, buy you diamonds, take you on an extravagant vacation, especially if they have it. Now, you also got to be cautious of Now, you also have to be conscious if your Venus is let's say it's in Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, fixed signs, but it's in houses that are a little bit more self-preserving. So the first house, if you have Venus in the first house, if you have Venus in your second house, third house, you might be a little bit more self-preserving, a little bit more selfish. So let's say someone has a Venus, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, fixed, but it's in those three houses. They may not be as sharing as these placements usually are, because it's more so I need to put myself first, and then once I put myself first and I'm done doing what I need to do it for myself, then I could give things to you. Also, I mean, these placements may also have this thing going on with where they're going back and forth with keeping for themselves or giving to you, keeping for themselves or giving to you. Same thing is for those who have Venus in the more self-preserving signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and it's in the 8th, 7th, or 9th house. Same thing. They'll have something going on back and forth with sharing, because environments wants them to share, but the sign that their Venus is in is not always the most sharing. Within those themes, signs that are neutral is Venus in Libra. Even though Venus is home in Libra, it's not always the most sharing, because they could have politics around how they give, and they really need that I give to you, you give to me. One hand washes the other. So if you have a Venus in Libra, you might really be big into the whole I scratch your back, you scratch my back, and where there's politics to it, where you feel you give in a way that's more status driven, even superficial driven, or you give in a way where it's more of a contract, a contract type of situation going on. A Venus in Libra would give because it's manners, it's it's the right etiquette of giving, you know? So it's like in like social settings. So those could be a little neutral. And also Virgo as well. But the giving ones are that Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Cancer, Venus in Piscean, and also Venus that sits in like, you know, sits in 4th house, 12th house, and 8th house. And also if you sit in like the relationships houses, like 9th, 8th, and 7th, there's also an energy about like give and take as well, and just sharing. Now for the water signs, if you, water signs, so Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and if you have Venus in water, since right now we have a transit with Venus in water, abundance is coming your way. A windfall is coming your way. That's the thing with Venus and Piscean. It's about just, I prayed for it. I deserved it. I put time in for it. Bless me, Lord. Bless me, life. And that's what it's going to do for you guys with the water signs. Water signs and Venus in water. Venus signs and water, and Venus signs from my last video. Venus and water signs, Venus and just water dominance. It's time to get blessed. Windfall is about to come into your life. You probably already know where this windfall is coming from. Now it's up to you what you want to do with it, because it could be something that you're just adding on to your savings, adding on to your lifestyle. You deserve this. Take care of yourself. So water signs and Venus and water signs, abundance is coming your way. So see why since February 10th till March 6th, you will be in this area of receiving. It will fall into your lap, different types of opportunities. Continue to pray, continue to believe, continue to do what you're doing, operate in service, operate in gratefulness, gratitude, and it will come your way. Just remember, don't overextend yourself. Don't do things like, you know, that is more external before you do what matters internally. So just important for the water signs and the water and the Venus in water. Now for the mutable, since Piscean is a mutable sign, this is a time for you as well to receive, but it's time for you to use this money for efficiency. Like it's time for you maybe to get a new car, reorganize some things, clear out some debts, do things where you now bring some sort of structure back into your life. This is not necessarily about like, you know, doing the things that you enjoy or having a good time. It's more about you bringing clarity and structure into your life. So for the Venus and mutables, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Pisces, and also for the Venus and those who are mutable signs. So Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo. You are also in a time to receive, but it's for you to clear out any type of messes you got going on, any type of setbacks, bring efficiency into your life. This is not a party time. Not a party time. It's more a party time for the water signs. So just want to share that with y'all. Always love, always gratitude, and I'll see y'all later.